All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the French Open. We're in the quarterfinal stage of Roland Garros. It's getting serious. We've got 8 players on the men and women's side, and one of them is going to be the champion. We've got a former champion still in the draw. We've got Grand Slam champion still in the draw. So we're not getting a new champion or anything yet. But Sabalenka versus Zheng. Maybe maybe Zheng can beat Sabalenka again like she did a couple weeks ago in Rome, and we can see what happens and whether or not Zheng might win her first trophy. She did win this the gold medal in this venue not that long ago. So maybe it's her time to get the slam. But what's going on, Chad? How are we doing? Are we ready? Big day today. Big day today. Things get real now. The last couple of days are getting serious, but today is like proper serious. Like this is getting really serious. But how are we, chap? Cruz Hewitt's playing junior doubles. Nice. So yeah, we've got a big day today. So we've got this match. We've got Swiatek Svitolina straight after this. Then we've got Musetti versus Tiafoe. And then we've got tonight's session with Alcaraz Paul. So that's sort of the schedule of things, the schedule of things. Nice shirt. Thank you. We won. We beat the Marlins. 10th win of the season. Let's go. Let's go. 10 wins, baby. Let's go. Don't want Zheng to win. Okay. Sabalenka would hope what happens in Rome stays in Rome. Yep. By the way, chat, you want to see something cool? Look at these Dasher cards. We've got the silver 99 and we've got the, what is this one? The red 15. I'm going to get the whole set, chat. Can't see them. They're very hard to see. But they're sick. They're the new Topps royalty range. And yeah, I'm going to collect the whole set. I think I've got a purple one on the way. And then there's like green, blue, gold. And I think like one other one. But yeah, I'm going to get the whole set. They come in other players too. But obviously Dasher. You can get Alcaraz and stuff, but they're like, but Dasher. Yeah, they're sick. It's probably Dasher's best card as well. Like the serving pose, sick. So I'm getting the full set. Six two five seven seven 6-4. You reckon? Okay. Dasher wasn't super sad from her loss, judging from the video I saw, which is good. Yeah. Her and Andreeva are friends. Dasher had a great week. Like beating Badosa, first top 10 win in a while, it felt like. Dash had a good week. And plus, going on the grass, she is capable on grass. So, it's not like she's going to disappear. She's going to, she could do well at Wimbledon, There's a possibility for that too, so. Hey, what's going on from Nepal? How you doing? Was excited to see Kyrgios at Wimbledon? Yeah, that's a shame. Shame. But hopefully he'll play later in the year, maybe. I don't know. All right. Players are about to walk out on court and we are about to get started. Now, these two have played a fair few times before. Up until recently, it was very one-sided. 6-1 head-to-head. Last time they played, though, Rome 25. Sabalenka lost her first match ever to Zheng. In fact, it was a straight sets loss. Before that, they played in Miami this year as well. It was straight set Sabalenka. They played at the WTA Finals last year. Straight set Sabalenka. They played in Wuhan last year. 3-set Sabalenka. US Open and Australian Open over the time as well as it was straight sets. So Zheng's won their only clay court meeting, which was in Rome, which is the most important surface when it comes to French Open. So if she can win in Rome, she can win in France. So let's see. Let us see if she can redo that rivalry. By the way, they played 3 different slams in the quarterfinal stage. They played 3 slams at quarterfinal level, but they played 4 times at slams. Obviously, the final of the Australian Open being the other one. But, this is going to be interesting. They played, quarterfinal US Open twice, here now, and also the final of Australia. In fact, they've only ever played the quarterfinals or better at the slams. They haven't played before a quarterfinal before, except for the round-robin stage of the WTA finals, but that's basically a quarterfinal anyway. This week, between these two, when they have played, they usually average about an hour and 30-minute matches. Obviously, Sabalenka's won 12 out of the 15 sets, and 6 out of 7 matches. The first serve percentage, Zheng's always struggled getting her first serve in because there's so much more pressure for her to get her first serve in against Sabalenka because Sabalenka attacks the second serve on everybody. So Zheng, first serve percentage on average against Sabalenka is 47%, which is pretty low. But she is winning 74% of those points when they go in. Her second serve points won, though, is 38%. So you know that if she missed the first serve, Sabalenka's going to attack the second. But, like we saw in Rome, maybe there's not as much pressure on the second serve because if you get your second serve in, the returns are not going to fly by as fast because it's on clay. So maybe Zheng being on a clay court, especially on the court that she won the Olympic medal against Swiatek against last year, maybe that changes her mentality around her second serve. Maybe she's like, well, I'm not so worried now because you might hit the ball hard, but it's not going to come through as fast, so I can get time to recover. So we'll see whether or not that is the case. But yeah, her serve has always been a struggle against Sabalenka. She's hit 29 double faults against Sabalenka, 35 aces. Sabalenka's only hit 9 double faults against Zheng in the 7 matches, which is pretty impressive. This week, Zheng serving at about a 57% first serves in, winning about 70% of those points. Same with Sabalenka. She's a little bit higher with more first serves in, but the same amount of points won at about a 70%. Both these ladies have held serve a fair bit. Sabalenka only being broken the 4 times. Zheng's been broken 13 times, but she did have that match against Samsonova where she got broken a few times in the last round. But yeah, Sabalenka only been broken the 4 times in this tournament so far. Only Zheng's played a tiebreak. Sabalenka has not played a tiebreak yet this week. Sabalenka also hasn't lost a set this week, whereas Zheng has lost the 1. So yeah, so that's where we're at. And Zheng served 21 aces and 18 double faults. So double faults are pretty high, which is a little bit strange. 19 aces and 8 double faults for Sabalenka for the week. So there you go. Will Djokovic-Zverev be a day or night session? Probably a night session. Probably the night session, I would suggest. But let's see. Let's see how we look. Women's semi-finals will be on Thursday. So tomorrow's matches don't get a day off, whereas today's matches do get a day off, and the men to play today get 2 days off between now and the semis, and tomorrow they get 1 day off. So that's just the schedule. They can't really do much about that. They can't change that. Well, they could. I don't know how they change it, but they could maybe try, but they don't want to. If Coco plays like that first set yesterday, can she be beat? Yeah, I think so. She played well. Don't let the scoreline fool you. 6-love doesn't always mean that the person who won played well. It just means that it was very one-sided. That could be because the other person played badly. I think it was a combination of both yesterday where Gauff played really well and her opponent didn't. But Alexandra Eala made a lot of errors in that first set. We talked about this a lot this week. I feel like it's been one of the biggest things I've spoken about. The difference between basing things off the score is only level 1. You've got to dig a little bit deeper to figure out actually what happened, right? But just looking at the score and being 6-1, there's a lot of different ways. A lot of different ways you can win 6-1. Not just dominating the match, but sometimes people win 6-1 in an hour, and every game went to deuce, right? So that tells a different story. For other players who win 6-1 in 20 minutes, right? But that's what we're here for, to analyze what is going on. By the way, chat, we're almost at 100 likes already. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Also, we have Alex Eala is playing today as well, so we're going to be tuning into her. I think it might be during the match with Tiafoe Musetti, which actually works out pretty well because I think out of all the matches, men and women's quarterfinals, I think that one's probably the one that is maybe people aren't as interested in. So hopefully we can we'll watch Eala, and then a lot of people will want to come over and watch the French Open. We'll just be like, hey, yeah, she's playing over on the grass, but we're over here as well. Come back over here. We can hopefully poach a few people. Get a few Eala fans over to watch the rest of the French Open. I like Zheng, but Sabalenka's on fire mode. Yeah, she's on fire. She did struggle in the last match, though. And Anisimova didn't make it easy. She didn't make it easy. And Zheng can play similar to Anisimova. But also Samsonova is sort of like a bit more of a raw version of Sabalenka. So that's a good warm-up for Zheng, right? They both had a good warm-up to play each other because had they have just played counterpunches the entire week, it wouldn't be good practice for someone who hits the ball hard, right? Sabalenka only one loss in major quarterfinals. That is crazy. That is a crazy stat. That is a crazy stat. What's Zheng in quarterfinals? So Zheng... quarterfinals. Blah. Quarterfinals for Zheng. Is 12 wins, 10 losses in quarterfinals. At Grand Slams, 1 win, 2 losses. The 1 win was against Kalinskaya. The 2 losses against Sabalenka. Sabalenka in quarterfinals doesn't lose. She's lost a lot of semifinals at Slams, but never quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, she seems to dominate. 10 wins, 1 loss. The 1 loss was actually here last year against Andreeva. But remember, 12 months ago, Sabalenka was sick against Andreeva. And it's not an excuse, it's a reason. 10 wins, though. She's beaten Jabeur, Krejcikova, Pliskova, Vekic, Svitolina, Keys, Zheng, Krejcikova again, Zheng again, and also Pavlyuchenkova in the quarterfinals of Slam. So she has a lot of wins. 10 wins, 1 loss. And again, that 1 loss against Andreeva, there's a reason why that loss. And she lost in a close 3-setter. In fact, she's only ever lost once, but she's only ever been pushed to 3 sets twice. Every other time, 9 times out of the 11 that she's played the quarter, she's won in straight sets. So Sabalenka doesn't lose quarterfinals. It doesn't happen. Semifinals, 5-5. So a little bit different when we get to the next round, but quarterfinals, 10-1, doesn't happen. Sabalenka's going to serve first in this one. Here we go, chat. It is time to lock the hell in. We are locked in. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go with Sabalenka in 3. I think that's what I said in the preview. I don't remember. Let me know what you think, chat. But I'm going Sabalenka in 3. She will serve first. In the first quarterfinal of Roland Garros, we're getting to the serious shit. We're getting serious, chat. And Sabalenka serves a fault. Second serve. Zheng in 3. Sabalenka in 2. Zheng in 3. Sabalenka 2. Sabalenka 3. All right. Zheng returns it at the back into Sabalenka as Zheng gets the first point. In the net from Sabalenka, love 15. Love 15. As a return from Zheng goes up and out. 15-0. Will you watch Eala's game later? Yes. Yes, we will. We will be watching Eala play against Fruhvirtova a little bit later. It's probably the best day to watch Eala too, because even though it's quarterfinals day, the matchup when she plays is not. Why is my thing not working? Hang on. The matchup that she is involved in doesn't. Is probably not the worst. It's probably we can do a doubleheader. 15:30. And then an ace. All right. 15:40. Yeah, scoreboard's coming up. There you go. As Sabalenka serves a fault, second serve. Second serve, Sabalenka. She's taking a little extra time. Oh, was it a double fault? It's either an ace or a double fault because Zheng let it go. That was good. Good second serve from Sabalenka right in the corner. And it's 40-30. By the way, chat, I went to a second-hand store today because I was out and about. Bought some DVDs. 40-30. As Sabalenka serves a fault, second serve. Prometheus was one of those DVDs. 40-30. Serving to the backhand of Zheng. Forehand from Sabalenka, who goes into the forehand of Zheng on the stretch. Sabalenka comes in. Puts it away. And Sabalenka wins the first game, 1-love. But the best thing was I was sitting there, I was going through the DVDs, and the guy that works at the place goes, "Hey, see that box of like loose CDs? Do you want it for $5? And I was like, God, I don't really want it was like, there was probably about 50 to 100 like random discs, right? And I was like, I don't know if I want to go through this. And there was 2 boxes, like $5 each. I'm like, went through them. I'm like, all right, I'll get them. Actually got some crazy good movies in there. So I got like 100, I reckon it was like 100 loose DVD CDs for like $10. It had like Batman Begins. It had like all these movies. I was like, what the hell? A lot of garbage. But a lot of random crap. But I'm like, okay, $10. If I can find 10 movies I like, it's worth it. And I did. So yeah, that was crazy. It had a lot of movies that I was looking for in the thrift too. So I kind of, yeah, I found that as well. Like Be Kind Rewind, I was looking for that everywhere and it just was there. I found it. The Jack Black movie about the thrift, about the video store. I'm like, hell yeah. That was there. I'm like, that's worth it. 15-love. And Zheng serves again. A fault. Second serve. Yeah, bargain. Lot of stuff I don't want. There'll be a lot of stuff getting donated back to the thrift, but a lot of good stuff too. Forehand goes in from Zheng. That's a winner, 30-love. So I added to my collection for like 5 cents a disc. $30, love. Ace down the tee from Zheng. All right, 40 love. This is a start. As a return goes out by Zheng. And it's 40-15. As the return goes into the backhand of Sabalenka, backhand from Zheng. Into the slice of Sabalenka is Zheng forehand. Into the slice of Sabalenka, Zheng with a drop shot, but it's in the net. 40-30. As we default, second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Sabalenka. Forehand from Sabalenka goes to the backhand of Zheng. Into the backhand of Sabalenka is Zheng with a backhand slice. And Sabalenka backhand again. Into the backhand of Zheng. Off the tape to the forehand of Sabalenka as Zheng goes down the line. Sabalenka's got it. Again to the backhand of Zheng as Sabalenka slice again. Goes in the net and Zheng holds 1-1. That was a tougher hold than maybe she had hoped. But she holds. 1-0. No bagel. No bagel. Okay. Sabalenka to serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Sabalenka, that goes out in the return. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. As we're just serving to the backhand of Zheng. Return goes to forehand of Sabalenka. Zheng down the line, comes to the net. Sabalenka pass. Zheng with a volley. Good drop volley winner. Love 30. Love 30. Does Zheng have any chance to win over Sabalenka? Of course. She just beat this Sabalenka a couple weeks ago. All right, love 30. Good serve down the tee. Return goes in the forehand of Sabalenka. Forehand from Zheng. Into the backhand of Sabalenka as Zheng forehand goes wide. 15-30. That's with a serve. Into the forehand of Zheng. Return the back to Sabalenka. Zheng. Inside out forehand winner. Beautiful shot. And it's 15-40. Break points for Zheng. Now I feel like there was a stat that went for a while that Zheng couldn't break Sabalenka. She'd only broken her maybe once in like five attempts or something. She has broken her a lot more since, but yeah. I think that was like the first 5 matches. She didn't even get a break point for the first 3 matches or something. Is it a forehand now from Zheng? Slice Sabalenka lob. Zheng comes in. Puts away the winner. That is how you start. 2-1. 2-1 to Zheng. So yeah, so Sabalenka has broken Zheng 26 times, and Zheng has only broken 12 times. And I say only 12 because the last time they played, she broke 3 times. The time before that, I think she'd broken once, maybe. But it was the first couple of times they played, she couldn't break Sabalenka. She just could not do it. But now, she's not afraid anymore. You think Zheng will get 10 games or no? In the match? Probably, yeah. Need a Sabalenka win? All right. Well, you need a fight back then. I want to see Sabalenka Swiatek semi-final. It'll be the real final. What do you mean? Gauff's still in the tournament. The winner will play maybe Gauff. And Gauff and Andreeva are still there. Only 12, but in most important moments. Yeah, I'm saying only 12, but when I say only 12, I mean like 12 in 7 meetings is not that many. But like the first half of the meetings, she couldn't break Sabalenka. It was impossible. All right. All right. 15 love. As the return goes back into Zheng. Forehand from Sabalenka cross court. Zheng down the line as Sabalenka gets a backhand cross. Zheng gets it with the backhand to the forehand. Sabalenka who hits a drop shot, but it's not very good. And Zheng, in the net. That was an easy backhand mistake by Zheng. 15-0. Not a final until the French girl advances, you reckon? I mean, it would be kind of awesome to see like Gauff versus the French lady. You're writing off Mirra. She's too good. Who's writing off Mirra? As we return now into the forehand of Zheng. Back in our slice. Lob by Sabalenka. Zheng with a smash winner. 30-15. 30-15. Today is the day that you pronounce her name correctly. Was on. It's not poison because I said that and somebody yelled at me. It's Boison. It's French. 30-15. $30-15. And they're just serving the backhand. Sabalenka gets it wide. 40-15. $40-15. It's more S than Z. Poisson. Poisson. Is that better? All right. Sabalenka into the forehand of Zheng as we get a forehand now from Zheng, goes down the line. Sabalenka backhand pass. Zheng volleys it away, but no, Sabalenka gets it, and then Zheng puts it away. 3-1. Ooh, lucky she was awake. Perfect pronunciation every time. Never have I once butchered a name. Never butchered a name one time. All right. Serve from Sabalenka. 3-1 Zheng. Love. Do you guys think Zheng will get 11 games? Sorry for the questions. Look, Nick, this isn't a betting site or betting. We don't give betting advice. So if you're going to... I think Sabalenka is going to win in 3 sets. So take that with what you will. But it's also a prediction from a random guy on the internet. So don't take it seriously. As with a fault second serve. Love. 7 to the forehand of Zheng. Sabalenka backhand. Into the forehand of Zheng. Zheng in the net. 40 love. Love. As a return goes out by Zheng, and it's Sabalenka with the game. All right. All right. All right. Zheng's got the break. And Zheng serves an ace. She is serving very well to start this match. Got a fault from Zheng, second serve. And then that goes out from Zheng on the second shot. 15-all. 15-all as Zheng serves another fault. Second serve. Second serve. Double fault from Zheng. 30-15. As we get an ace from Zheng, 30-all. All. Serve again from Zheng. And the return goes out by Sabalenka, and it's 40-30. Zheng to keep the break. All right, we get a let on the first serve. (40-30). She serves a fault. Zheng, second serve. Serve to the backhand of Sabalenka. Zheng with the backhand down the line. Sabalenka hits it out. All right. Zheng with the 4-2 lead, first set. All right. I like Sabalenka, but Roland Garros is not for her. Okay. Except for Rome, Iga has big quarterfinals every tournament. There you go. All right, 4-2. So many empty seats, sigh. Yep. It's because it's so early in the day on a Tuesday. There's a backhand slice from Zheng. Sabalenka comes in with a forehand, but it's in the net. And it's love 15. I think the French Open are the only tournament that start this early on a quarterfinal day. I feel like every other slam starts at 1 p.m. on quarterfinal day, not 11 a.m. Nobody rocks up at 11 a.m. to the tennis, not on center court. Unfortunately, it's just so, 11 a.m. on center court on a weekday is the worst time to play. You don't it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. People don't show up to the first match of the day on time. Love 15. Was it a forehand down the line? The backhand of Sabalenka. Backhand out from Zheng. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Drop shot is good, but Zheng gets it and overhits it. 15-all. I feel like they could restructure how they do. Well, I reckon there could be a time where they do I know they do women's semi-final, men's semi-final, but could you do women's quarterfinal, men's quarterfinals on 2 different days as well? Could that be a thing? I guess probably not, because the 4 men's quarterfinals could all be 5-setters, and that would kind of mess up the schedule, but I don't know. They have to put these they didn't have to put these matches on first. They chose to. They could have put Musetti's Tiafoe first, but I guess it's just for the fairness of the schedule going forward, but yeah. All right, 30-15. Sabalenka serves a fault, second serve. Sinner Alcaraz has no time and will fill the stadium. This is a women's thing, bro. You're here watching women's tennis. Why are you saying it's... Do you not like WTA, or are you just... Why is it empty? I literally just said why it's empty. It's 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. As the return goes the forehand slice of Sabalenka, and that goes into the forehand of Zheng. Sabalenka forehand again to the forehand of Zheng, who hits a winner down the line. 30-all. 30-all. By the way, chat, may we just say as well, it's only empty at the front. The corporate seats are empty. And why would that be? Maybe it's because the people that wear the suits that sit in those chairs are at work, right? In the morning. They're doing their jobs. Up the top, you can hear people, so there's definitely people there. But the front rows, there's no one there. But because they're the expensive seats where all the business people that are at work right now at midday on a Tuesday. There's a bit of volley now from Zheng in the net. 40-30. I don't remember the US Open or Australian Open having empty seats in the early matches like Roland Garros. Again, because those tournaments start a little bit later as well. 1 p.m. is the start time for that, for the Australian Open. I'm pretty sure it's 1 p.m. All right. 40-30. As with a forehand from Sabalenka into the forehand of Zheng. Forehand from Sabalenka. Again to the forehand of Zheng. Sabalenka forehand to the forehand of Zheng as Sabalenka slice. Drop shot, Zheng goes wide, and it's 4-3. Sabalenka holds, but Zheng has the break. Yeah, sorry, 11 a.m., yeah. They usually start at 1 p.m. on the Australian Open, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, up the top, there's more people up the top. There are people coming in as they go. Got to remember, people are getting there late too, right? But the front rows are empty. But that's, again, they're corporate boxes. It's going to be the people that have jobs. They can afford those seats, right? It'll be interesting to see whether or not Musetti and Tiafoe's match has a full stadium. Because that match out of the bunch, out of the men's matches, is probably the least interesting to the casual fan. So I wonder if, because obviously Sinner is there, and, we got Alcaraz tonight. They're obviously going to have, everyone is going to be interested in those. But yeah, I'm interested to see whether or not Tiafoe Musetti brings in a crowd. Because that's probably the most random match of the bunch. Djokovic Zverev obviously will bring in a crowd. 4-3. Zheng with the break. I forgot that Paul made the quarterfinals of Wimbledon last year. Yeah, has he been to the quarterfinals every tournament now? Tommy Paul is so underrated. He is the most underrated player in the top 20. He's just made the 4th round of the US, but he'll change that. All right, that goes out by Sabalenka on the return. $15 love. Putting Lego Masters and whilst ads are on. Hey, Contra, love that. 15 love. Backhand return from Sabalenka. Into the backhand of Zheng. Sabalenka forehand open court. Zheng gets there but hits in the net. And Zheng didn't do enough of the backhand. 15-all. Is Sabalenka better in the morning matches or the evening matches? I mean, probably during the day. Her game is more effective during the day. I would love to know a stat. We'll never know it. We'll never be able to figure this out without doing extensive research. But I would love to know everyone's like record during the day versus during the night. That would be really fun to figure out. You would never be able to figure it out. It'd be way too hard to do for everybody. But it would be interesting to see like what their win-loss record is for day versus night. Because that would give us a really good indication on who plays well during the day and who plays well during the night. Who's the situation favor? But you'd have to do a lot of research. Just Google it. That doesn't help anything. 30-15. Some matches are supposed to be day sessions and they go into the night, so that would be a night match, right? So you couldn't just Google it. I don't know how you would Google it. It's not that easy. I wish it was. I wish I could just Google it. Use ChatGPT. I mean, you could try. I don't think it would be accurate. Because again, how would ChatGPT know when they played? Like what time they played? Because remember, sometimes nighttime starts at 9 o'clock for some countries. Sometimes it starts at 4 o'clock, 30-0. There's a bit of fault from Zheng, second serve. Serve a double fault. All right. Break back point for Sabalenka. 30-40. Could make the quarterfinal scheduling way better using Susan Longland. Nah, they do that at Wimbledon. I hate that. I hate that they put I hate Wimbledon doing that. How they split the quarterfinals over two courts. I hate that. I love the quarterfinals all being on one court. For me to watch them, it's much easier. But I like the night session debate. What they should just do is 2 night session matches on Philippe Chatrier. That's easy. Sabalenka winner, we're back on serve. 4-0. 2 during the day, 2 at night. That's what we should do. Start the session at 6:30. That's what we should do. And I don't like that Wimbledon do 2 matches on each court. It's just it's so hard to watch. It's so hard to do double headers for quarterfinals. It's such a waste. All right. Sabalenka has the break back. 4-4. Hey, Benny, thank you for the 20 months. Appreciate that. And Sabalenka serves a fault, second serve. Second serve. Yeah, I know. Center court can't have 4 matches on it in the same day in Wimbledon. I know that. Yeah. Which is, I get it. I know it's a rule. I think it's a silly rule, but because by the quarterfinals, chat, when have the Wimbledon courts, I know they get, the baselines get wrecked and stuff, but when have we ever seen the court, the Wimbledon court in shambles? When it's been, dug up by day 15? You know what I mean? If you played 4 matches in the quarterfinals instead of 2, is it really going to make the courts that much worse in the final? Is the final going to be playing in a mud pit? I don't know. Are the courts really going to be that much worse? 15 love. I'm not a groundskeeper. I wouldn't know, but I don't know. I don't feel like it would be that bad. $15-all. And just a fault from Sabalenka, second serve. What's my Aussie football team? Essendon. Essendon, the Essendon Bombers. We are a work in progress. Uh, 15-0. We take on Carlton on Sunday this week. I won't be able to go because I'll be watching the final, but it's a big match. Essendon Carlton coming up on Friday. Well, on Sunday. I would go if I didn't have to watch the French Open. Where's Mia? She's right there. She's hiding in a... She's hiding. 30-15. Serve to the back end of Zheng. Return goes to Aryna Sabalenka. In the net from Sabalenka, and it's 30-0. Chance for Zheng to get the break and serve the set. Sabalenka serves, fault. Second serve, Sabalenka. Work in progress like the Rockies. No, we're better than the Rockies. We win more. As Sabalenka hits a forehand into the backhand of Zheng. Sabalenka gets the point, though. Zheng hits it out 40-30. Carlton crumbles in the second half of every game. Essendon have a decent chance to win. We should win. I'm expecting us to win. It's definitely a winnable game for my team. As the return goes out by Zheng, no. Sabalenka served a let, I think. Serve again. And Sabalenka holds. She takes the lead. Sabalenka takes the lead. All right. Danny.
Go Qinwen Zheng. +1 grinning.
Thank you, Danny, for the 5. Appreciate that. And Jin, thank you for the 5 as well. Appreciate that as well. Thank you for the donations. It's very generous. All right, how we doing, chat? A few double faults could easily tip the balance. Oh, yeah. Well, now Zheng serving to stay in the match, or stay in the set. So let's see. As the return goes out by Sabalenka. 15, love. Bublik on fire at the moment. Oh, yeah. Yep. Possibly moment of the tournament when he won. I think that was such a moment. It got me in the feels. Such a beautiful moment. 15, love. And I love the press conference. I love, chat, that players are starting to I wouldn't say fight back, but players are starting to question the questions they're getting asked. And I think that's really good because, you know, Bublik was like they were trying to get him to say something, and he was like, it's not that I don't care about it. I just don't train to break my, like, he just goes, he said something like, I don't train to injure my knee because that's not, tennis isn't my whole life. Tennis isn't everything. He puts things in such good perspective, but then gets labeled as like someone who just doesn't really care. But he does care. Like he works hard. He's not lazy. Like, you know what I mean? Go listen to the press conference from yesterday. It was so good. I was like, that is such an interesting way to think about it. And I'm like, that's such a smart way to think about your career as well. 30 love. There's a backhand drop shot from Sabalenka as a winner, and it's 30-15. But yeah, he's it's good to hear a different like type of mindset. He has a different mind, like different perspective on his tennis career. You know, I like his approach to life in general. Yeah. It's very, very good. Obviously, it's not for everybody. Like some players, you know, there's obviously a lot of players that are like train, work, you know. But I liked that he's not like, yeah, I like the way that he's going about it. You know, it's a very insightful way and very thoughtful way to think about your future as well. You know, he's like, I don't want to be, 40 years old and can't walk. He's like, oh, good point. You got a point. 30-all. He said if he got broken while serving for the match, he would have lost 7-5, 6-2. Yeah, I think that probably would have happened. I mean, it felt like that when I was watching the end of that match. It was like now or never. All right, 30-all. Sabalenka trying to win this set. As the return goes in the net, and Sabalenka gets pissed off at herself. 40-30. It sounded like a dig at Nadal. What Bublik said? I don't think it was a dig at Nadal. I think he was just putting things into perspective from his point of view. You don't need to take don't be. He wasn't taking a dig at Nadal. All right, 40-30. My God. Serve. Into the back of Sabalenka. Return goes back of Zheng. Zheng hits it wide, and we get the deuce. Chad, I feel like we just gotta take it down a notch sometimes, you know? And not read into people's comments so much and be like, oh my God, I think he was referring to my player. My player has knee injuries. No, he was just talking about his own life. And what he doesn't want to have happen to him. You know? But go watch the press conference. It's very good. It's good to hear a different kind of response to questions. All right, deuce. As with a fault from Zheng, second serve. Second serve. There's a return from Sabalenka. The backhand of Zheng. Sabalenka forehand. Into the forehand of Zheng is Sabalenka. Again to the forehand of Zheng on the stretch. Sabalenka can't get it. Advantage Zheng. It's a healthy approach. Tennis is not his whole life. Yeah. And it works for him. And he knows what works for him. He's very self-aware. And that's not that other players aren't. But he is very self-aware. Being unable to walk at 40 years old because there was something that was actually talked about a lot regarding Nadal's approach to foot numbing. Yeah, cool. But I don't think Bublik was taking a shot at Nadal. But if you want to, cry, feel free to buy tissues and just, just don't do it here. Advantage Zheng. Is it a backhand return? Into the forehand of Zheng. Forehand of Sabalenka into the forehand of Zheng. As Sabalenka forehand, down the line of the backhand of Zheng. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Zheng with the backhand again. And Sabalenka forehand goes in the forehand of Zheng. To the backhand of Sabalenka. Zheng back into the net. We go back to deuce. Don't take what he said personally. It wasn't about your guy. Right? He didn't even mention Nadal. Exactly. He wasn't even... He was talking about himself. Exactly. Stop interpreting everything about someone. Exactly, yeah. Don't take he didn't name any names. He didn't even say, I'm referring to players, but I'm not going to say. He just was talking about himself. Go watch the press conference. I'm not going to read the press conference for you. Just go listen to it. It's online. Advantage Zheng. But again, it's very interesting. I thought it was I liked it. I thought it was very different way to go about your career. Whereas, most of the time we're hearing about, work, fight. It's nice to hear somebody be like, look, I don't do those things because, I don't want to do those things to the point of breaking my body because it's not worth it for me. And I thought that was very intelligent from him, really. To know what he wants out of his career and to know what he, and to know how he operates. Very self-aware, very emotionally intelligent, 5-5. This is getting interesting. All right, 5-5. All right, Alexandra, let's just move on then. My bad. If you weren't taking it personally, it just sounded like you were getting very upset over Bublik's comment about and saying that she was taking a shot at Nadal when in fact he didn't say Nadal's name and he wasn't. He was referring to himself. We don't need to start drama. You know what I mean? There's no point in trying to interpret what everyone says and be like, I think that was about this. Don't worry about it. It wasn't. He was talking about himself. Love 15. As we return now from Zheng into the backhand of Sabalenka, down the line of the forehand of Zheng. Sabalenka forehand. Again at the forehand of Zheng. Sabalenka backhand cross. Zheng goes again to the backhand of Sabalenka, who goes down the line of the forehand of Zheng. As Sabalenka forehand again. No. Zheng hit it long. 15-0. Big shout from Sabalenka as well. Why did Zheng have to throw away that break? $15-0. $15-0. As we get a return out by Zheng, 30-15. $30-15. Zheng thinking about her DVD collection. What? Can you, leave my hobbies alone? I don't make fun of your name. Why do you make fun of my hobbies? Limonati. Ooh, edgy. 30-15. Let me guess. You wear a tinfoil hat and you read conspiracy theories about the moon landing. 30-15. As with a backhand return to the backhand of Zheng. Zheng in the net, 40-15. Hey, you started it. You've been taking digs at my DVD collection all day. Don't you think I've noticed? Maybe she should watch a DVD. Shut up. She should watch a DVD. DVD's great. 40-15. As we return now into the forehand of Sabalenka, backhand slice from Zheng, but Sabalenka volleys it away and she gets the lead again. 6-5. All right. Okay, that was a good one. I'll give you that. All right. What moon landing? Hooray for DVDs. Thank you. That's yes. Agree with Bublik 100,000%. Oh, fair enough, Ellie. Okay. Maybe I misread what you were trying to say. My bad. It's hard to read tone in the chat. I just read everything as sarcastic because that seems to be the norm. Okay. Zhang's going to serve to get this tiebreak. He's subtly calling you old because of DVDs. DVDs are... How are DVDs old? Like 5 years ago. I mean, unless you're 12, DVD's been around, are still around. It's not a, like, I would say for the last 5-10 years, maybe they've been phased out the last, 10 years, maybe. So if I'm old, you're probably, 9 years old. And in that case, what are you doing in the chat? How'd you get here? Get the hell out of here. All right, 6-5. Return. Back in my day. The hell? Anyways, forehand winner from Zhang, 15-love. We'll see who's laughing last when the internet goes out worldwide. Don't you? And I'll be sitting there watching movies and you'll all be going, oh, we should listen to that guy. Oh, now all the thrift stores are gone because everybody went and hoarded the DVDs. I wish I could watch my favorite movie, but Netflix is not working right now. I should have listened to that guy on the internet. Because chat, if the internet goes down, you know where everyone's running to. They're running to the thrift stores to get movies. Because that's the only place you can get them. Just like the toilet paper during COVID. It's going to be gone. Get your favorite movies. Do it. Trust me. Anyway, Zhang hits it back into the line. Slice from Sabalenka. Into the forehand of Zhang as we're backhand Sabalenka on the stretch. Zhang backhand. Into the backhand Sabalenka. Zhang with the slice. And then a drop shot from Sabalenka. Winner. 15-0. 15-all. Get 20 copies of the same movie. Well, no, don't do that. Don't hoard. Your room is going to look like the Criterion Closet before too long. I hope so. That place is sick. This forehand goes in from Zhang. Cross court 30-15. 30-15. Let's lock back in, chat. We got to stay on course. We can have fun, but we got to stay on course. We can talk about DVDs next week when we watch Queen's Club. All right. 30-15. Second serve. 30-15. Serving to the backhand of Sabalenka. Zhang with the backhand into the backhand of Sabalenka. Again to the backhand of Zhang. Sabalenka again to the backhand of Zhang. Into the forehand of Sabalenka is Zhang in the net with a slice. And it's 30-all. 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 No worries, Kathy. 30-all. I'll get Heat on DVD. That's a classic. Yes. Do it. Serve out wide, the forehand of Sabalenka. Return goes into the forehand of Zheng. Sabalenka slice. It goes out, apparently. Zheng let it go. She better be right. I think she's right. Umpire's going to check. Umpire said it might be. I think the umpire's saying it's in. Umpire's saying it's in, and Zheng's like, oh no, what have I done? And Zheng's saying, no, it's not. That ball is not in. The umpire's like, nah, it's in. Definitely in. And that's a massive point because Zheng gave it up. And now it's a set point Sabalenka, 30-40. This is a big call. No Hawkeye. No Hawkeye. Umpire said it's in. Zheng reckons it maybe hit a line or hit a ball mark on a ball mark and maybe it wasn't the right one. Are they going to show us on the TV, though? That's the question. Because if they show us on the TV that it was out, terrible call. 30-40. We haven't had a real bad call this week. Well, we have had calls, but not real bad. First serve's a fault, second serve. Yeah, I think Zheng might have been like, I think I made a mistake here. I think she knew it was in, but she was trying to defend her case. Backhand goes in to the backhand of Zheng. Backhand of Sabalenka to the backhand of Zheng. Is Sabalenka with a forehand down the line? Zheng backhand into the backhand of Sabalenka. Again, the backhand of Zheng. Sabalenka forehand to the forehand of Zheng on the stretch. Sabalenka, backhand cross. Zheng with a pass. Is a winner. What a shot. Great recovery from Zheng. Ooh, deuce. Man, that was a great backhand, like, swat. All right, deuce. Still haven't seen the Hawkeye replay on the TV, so something... I mean, sometimes when they don't show the replay, maybe it's because it was wrong. Anyway, serve again. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Forehand from Zheng. The forehand of Sabalenka is Zheng. Backhand to the forehand of Sabalenka. Is Sabalenka in the net. Advantage Zheng. This is a good recovery from Zheng. Because she did... I think she knew that it was in, but she made like such an error by thinking it was out that I think she was just trying to be like, shit. Especially at 30-all. I mean, that's... you play it as it's in until they say otherwise, right? She just wanted it to be out so bad. All right, advantage Zheng. And Zheng telling someone in the crowd to please find a seat or find their way to the door. All right, advantage Zheng. As a return from Sabalenka goes into the net. All right, Zheng holds, so no need to worry about the controversial call. Hawkeye said it was out. 7 millimeters. That's why they didn't show it on the TV. Or at least on my TV, they didn't show it. All right, tiebreak. Who's going to win? Wow, that's probably the worst call we've seen all week at that time. We haven't had... Luckily, it didn't... If Zheng lost the set, it would have been a huge talking point. But luckily, she hasn't lost the set. So, 7 millimeters is huge. That's a huge call. All right, 6-6. Pardon me. Who's going to win the tiebreak? Let me know. Sabalenka serves. Here's a fault second serve. Yeah, luckily for the umpire, and probably for the tournament, that ball was... that didn't change the result of the set. Anyways, backhand winner from Zheng. 1-love. Had Zheng have lost this set based on that call, it would have been a big deal. All right. 1-0 Zheng. And Zheng serves a let. Well, now Sabalenka's having a look at the mark. Umpire's saying it's in. All right. They're going to replay the point because that was a serve that was in. Oh, man. I'm looking at photos now. Yeah. Yeah, apparently it was wide. Anyways, Zheng recovered well, and she gets the 2-love. Yeah, chat, that could have been a real... I'm sure Emily Mauresmo was like, whew. Don't have to deal with that. We've had enough heat this week. We don't need to deal with the lack of Hawkeye. I mean, they've gotten away with it, the French Open, with no Hawkeye this week because there hasn't been any controversial calls. Like, that have been detrimental to matches, but that could have been in the first one. So they're probably thinking, whew, okay. Let's just play the tiebreak. Don't even talk about it. Shut up. Anyway, Sabalenka winner, 2-1. Why no Hawkeye? I think their justification is that the ball leaves a mark. So why would we need to Hawkeye? But obviously we know that Hawkeye is valuable. You know, it's a valuable on clay. As like a, you know, as a substitute to, it's not perfect, but it's also accurate enough to help. I think they need to use a hybrid where you use Hawkeye and you know, umpires. Like we used to use with lines people and, you know, on hard courts, right? Like you can challenge the call. As with a forehand out of the backhand of Sabalenka, slice from Zheng, goes out. 2-0. 2-2. Yeah, one controversy down, 100 to go. No, there hasn't been too controversy. The only controversy this week has been the lack of women's matches at night. The 0 night session matches, but that's yeah. I'm sure that topic will now be going to bed because until next year, because they're not going to put women's matches on tomorrow night for the schedule's sake. As we get a forehand now to the backhand of Sabalenka. Zheng with a forehand to the backhand of Sabalenka. As Zheng hits the backhand wide, it's 3-2 Sabalenka. All right, 3-2 Sabalenka. All right, 3-2. All right, a Sabalenka forehand, but Zheng hit it wide. And it's 4-2 Sabalenka. They change ends. Okay. All right. Zheng serves again. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Zheng. Forehand from Sabalenka into the forehand of Zheng. Sabalenka forehand again to the forehand of Zheng. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Slice from Zheng. Sabalenka again to the backhand of Zheng. To the backhand of Sabalenka. But Sabalenka hits it out. And it's 4-3 Sabalenka. Four to three. All right, 4-3. Sabalenka serves again. As the return goes out by Zheng, and it's Sabalenka 5-3. As we get an ace from Sabalenka, and she gets the set point, 6-3. 6-3 Sabalenka. To take the first set. All right, 6-3. 7 to the forehand of Sabalenka. Great return. Zheng gets it back. Sabalenka backhand drop shot. Zheng hits it down the line, but it's long. Sabalenka takes the first set in the tiebreak, 7-6. First set, Sabalenka. And Zheng had chances. She was up a break for the majority of that set. But Sabalenka was not to be denied. All right. First set in the bag. Definitely Aryna's drop shot have destroyed Zheng's game. I mean, it's definitely been a good shot of hers. All right. Zheng's going to go to the bathroom. Any comments about that? Does anyone want to say anything about that? Any views on that? Do we have any insights, chat? Can Nole's blisters be a real problem? Yes, they can be. Yes, they can. Why is Zheng going to the bathroom? Because she has to go to the bathroom. That's just we all have to go to the bathroom sometimes. Cool. Zverev try to make Nole run? Yeah, for sure. For sure. She needs to manage her movements better. Who's Zheng? Drop shots is in style now. Yeah, drop shots are back, baby. But we're on clay. That's normal. Sabalenka was a bit passive, but Zheng. Okay. All right. How are you doing in live cam? I'm doing all right. How are you doing? Life's pretty good. Can't complain. All right. Zheng wins 80% of matches when she wins the first set. Sabalenka had to win that first set. I'm sure Sabalenka's percentage is pretty good too. In fact, let me have a look. Sabalenka this year, when she wins the first set, she's 30 wins and 2 losses. Alexandra and Andreeva are the 2 players that have beaten Sabalenka from a set down. Zheng this year, when she's lost the first set, she has come back to win a total of no times. So she hasn't... Okay. I think Zheng needed the first set. 0 out of 7 when she loses the first set. She goes on to lose the match every time this year, Zheng. So that's not a great stat. Hasn't come back from a set down since Wuhan, where she was down a set against Fernandez and came back to win. So it's been a while since she's come back from a set down. And Sabalenka doesn't give the first set lead up. Linda.
Celebrating Rafa's birthday and my mum's birthday today, and we are big fans of Super Sabalenka.
Hey, thank you, Linda, for the 5. Happy birthday. And yeah, Rafa's birthday too. Happy Rafa birthday. Or happy birthday, Rafa. All right. Sabalenka first set, 7-6. Let's see if Zheng can fight back to win a second set. By the way, Chad, if Swiatek wins today, we'll talk about this more in the next match, but if Swiatek does win today, she will be outright second most consecutive Roland Garros wins. But we'll talk about that in the next match. But that is a possibility. All right, first serve is a fault from Zheng, second serve. All right. As the return goes in the net from Sabalenka. (30-15). Ah, 40-15. As Zheng wins the first game of the second. Ah, 1-love. All right. All right. A 4-4 rally. As Sabalenka hits it out. Love 15. Love 15. As that goes out again by Sabalenka, love 30. I have Sabalenka versus Svitolina in the semis. Okay. As we return now from Zheng, that goes out. Sabalenka the duck. 15-30. So tomorrow, chat, Djokovic and Zverev are playing at night. And it's Keys, Gauff to start the day. Andreeva, Bozon. And then it's Sinner, Bublik in the afternoon. So, yeah, Djokovic versus Zverev night match. No surprise. That's probably about right. 15-30. As the return goes out by Zheng and it's 30-all. All. Sabalenka serves again. As a default by Sabalenka, second serve. And Zheng returns in the front of Sabalenka. Zheng with the backhand. Into the slice of Sabalenka. As Zheng, forehand again to the slice of Sabalenka into the backhand of Zheng. Sabalenka backhand into the backhand of Zheng. As Sabalenka with the forehand cross. Zheng doing the running, and she hits it wide on the forehand, and it's 40-30. There's a default second serve. As the return goes out by Zheng, and it's game for Sabalenka. All right. All right, 15 love. All right, 30 love. There's a bit of slice from Sabalenka. Zheng gets it back, but overhits it. 30-15. As Sabalenka puts up a lob. Goes in the forehand of Zheng. Forehand from Sabalenka, the backhand of Zheng. And Sabalenka backhand to the slice of Zheng. And then Sabalenka hits a drop shot winner. 30-all. Zheng serves an ace. 40-30. And return there by Sabalenka. Good hold by Zheng. 2-1. In the second. Okay. All right, 2-1. Apparently the French do not have noise regulations. Cool. 3 sets, Zheng will win, you reckon? Okay. How much longer will this game last? Well, it could go for another 2 hours, so lock in. Okay. Sabalenka to serve. 2-1 Zheng in the second. Sabalenka won the first in a tiebreak. Got Swiatek coming on after this. And then Musetti Tiafoe after that. And then tonight we've got Alcaraz versus Paul. All right, Sabalenka with a fault, second serve. Second serve. And we're back in now from Zheng. Into the forehand of Sabalenka. Zheng gets the point. Sabalenka overhits it. All right. Love 15. As the return goes into the backhand of Sabalenka. Zheng with a forehand. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Zheng eventually hits a winner. Love 30. Love 30. Nice hitting from Zheng. Love 30. Sabalenka too strong. And it's 30 all. Serve again. Into the backhand of Zheng. Forehand from Sabalenka is too strong. 30 all. All right, 30 all. As she said, an ace. $40-30. Another ace from Sabalenka. And 2-0 in the second. What's up, DJ? How you doing? What's up, Ilko? How you doing? I like Zheng to win this match, but this far into Sabalenka is playing like she wants it and lifted her game. Yeah. Zheng had the chance in the first. Can you check my question? What question? What did you ask? Is it a forehand from Sabalenka to the forehand of Zheng on the stretch? Sabalenka forehand. Winner. Inside out winner. Love 15. Love 15. Sabalenka forehand on the stretch. Zheng goes down the line. Sabalenka's got it with a slice. And then Zheng hits a wide love 30. Has Zheng gone the distance in those 7 losses from a set down? I think once. I think one time she did make it a push to a third. Let me check. Yeah, so the last time against Gauff in Rome, she lost the first set, won the second, lost the third. But every other match, so 6 out of the 7 have been straight sets losses. But the match against Gauff, the last time she lost the first set, she came back and she almost won that match. Remember, she went to a 7-6 in the third. So she has once, but right now she's not going to do that. At 15:30, second serve. All right. And Sabalenka hits that one out. 30-0. And Zheng serves a fault. Second serve. Why are WTA matches so unpredictable than ATP ones? Chat, I'm going to give you that one. I'm going to throw that to you. Give me some... Why is that? Give me some not examples. Give me some reasons why that might be. I've got one in my head why it probably is, especially at slams. But what about you? No one stole anything. Huh? All right, 30-40. 30-40. No break points in this second set until now. First serve's a fault, second serve. Best of 3. Best of 5 is less time to adapt. I agree. I think it's the best of 3 versus best of 5. Backhand return goes to backhand of Zheng. That's a good shot. But Sabalenka gets it back. Zheng comes to the net. Sabalenka lob. Zheng puts away the smash. We get back to deuce. Yeah, I think one of the big reasons is because in best of 5 sets, the top players, obviously the top players most of the top players are there because they do well at slams, right? If you're in the top 10, you won a lot of points, and most of those points are usually from slams, so it means you are pretty good at best of 5. So best of 5 versus best of 3. And we look at outside the slams, we see a lot more upsets on the men's side because there's less time to come back and win, right? So I think the length of matches probably, for me, it's the big factor. If we had best of 5 ladies matches, it would be interesting to see who, if there was less upsets. Then again, there's not that many upsets now in the WTA than there was 2 years ago. or even 12 months ago. But the men's side of things, I think it's just that the top players are more experienced at 5-setters, so or best of 5, so we don't see as many upsets maybe. All right, advantage Sabalenka to break. First serve's a fault, second serve. Second serve. Zheng serves the back and Sabalenka. Return is good. Can't get it back, Zheng. 3-2 Sabalenka in the second. Three-two. All right. Because Chad, if I go through, just for fun, if I go through the men's matches that have been, let's make all the men's matches best of 3. Tommy Paul would have lost in the second round, right? He would have lost to Fucsovics in straights, 6-4, 6-2, right? So Tommy Paul wouldn't even be in the quarterfinals if that was the case, right? Alcaraz would be there because he didn't lose 2 sets in a row, or 2 out of the 3 sets. Tiafoe would be there. Musetti would be there. Djokovic, Zverev would be there. Bublik would have been out of the tournament against de Minaur. And Sinner would be there. So two of the 8 quarterfinalists wouldn't be there if it was best of 3. Would they have been upsets? No, because Paul and Bublik weren't expected to. Yeah, Paul would have been upset. Bublik wouldn't have been upset against de Minaur though. So de Minaur wouldn't have been upset if it was a 3-setter, which is weird because I said that the upsets happened in 3 sets and that was an upset in 5. Other players that wouldn't have lost. That are like the top players. So if it was best of 3, best of 3, Rune would have lost, which would have been an upset. Instead, he came back from 2 sets to 1 down against Alice, so he would have lost that third round if it was a 3-setter. So there's one reason, one example. Medvedev still would have lost to Norrie, even if it was a 3-setter because he lost the first 2 sets. Rude, Draper would have still lost as well because it was Bublik won 2 of the first 3. Who else? Looking for big names. Auger-Aliassime wouldn't have lost the first round had he have been best of 3, so that would have saved him. By the way, love 30. Zheng, as she tries to break straight back. Rude still would have lost in a best of 3. So yeah. Tsitsipas still would have lost. Shelton would have lost first round had it been a best of 3 instead of best of 5, so it saved his bacon. So look, again, it's not a foolproof formula that like best of 3 is definitely going to be upsets, but there would have been more upsets on the men's side earlier on if it was best of 3, especially with some of the names that are already in the in the draw as of now. They wouldn't have been here if had the tournament not been best of 5. Anyways, Zheng hits a rocket return and it's 15-40 to get back on serve. Beautiful backhand winner. Even Sabalenka's like, how the hell did you do that? She's giving her a round of applause. She's like, that was a ridiculous return. All right, 15-40. And Zheng returns the back into Sabalenka. Zheng passing shot. Sabalenka drop volley, but Zheng's there. And Sabalenka puts it away. It went in. 15-40. Good lunge. And the umpire's... Wait, the umpire's saying it's out, is it? Oh, no. The umpire's saying it's out. Umpire, you're ruining everything. Why are you making it? That was a great... Oh, umpire, what have you done? What have you done, umpire? Don't you have any sense of cinema? Hawkeye said it was out. Hey, why didn't they show Hawkeye when it was out when she called it in? What's going on? Hang on. Why are they showing Hawkeye now when the umpire was correct? Why didn't they show the umpire being wrong? What's going on here? What's going on with that? Hang on a second. Why do they show Hawkeye when the umpire said it was out and it was out? What's the other one? Why didn't they do the other one? But the other shot, they didn't show Hawkeye with the other shot. Well, what happened with the other shot? Why didn't they show the other shot? That's so weird. That's so weird that they didn't show the other shot. When the umpire was saying it was out and then they went, oh, we're not going to show you anybody. Why didn't they show that shot? That's so weird. Umpire was correct that time. One and one. The umpire is 1 out of 2. Running at 50% right calls. But still, where's the cinema? That was a great volley. Well, it would have been a great volley. All right. 3-all. We're back on serve. We're back on serve. Backhand rally. As Sabalenka forehand cross. Goes in the forehand of Zheng. Forehand from Sabalenka. Again, the forehand of Zheng. Into the back of Sabalenka with the stretch. As it a backhand again from Zheng, and then Sabalenka drop shot winner. Love 15. Love 15. All right. Love 15. And Zheng serves again. Is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. In the backhand of Sabalenka. Zheng backhand down the line. Sabalenka with a forehand cross. And then Zheng shanks it long. Love 30. Love 30. And a fault again. Second serve. Second serve. Double fault. Love 40. Love 40. Sabalenka to take the break again. Can't wait for the grass, fed up with this red dust. Forehand rally, and Sabalenka gets a slice of the stretch. Backhand from Zheng goes wide. Yeah, I'm sick of the dust too. Bloody dust. Stupid red dust. Yeah, I'm over it as well. Just think, we've got about 5 more days, and then we can we can leave the dust in the dust. All right, 4-3. Sabalenka breaks again. All right. What's with that cow? I don't understand. Grass just looks so cool. Yeah. Yeah. It does. That was a shocking game by Zheng, you're right. Wind has picked up, by the way. The wind has picked up. Clay is least favorite for me. Grass is so much better to look at. Yeah. Is someone snoring in the background? No? Okay, Sabalenka 2 games away from the semifinals. As a return goes into the backhand of Sabalenka. Backhand from Zheng in the net. And it's 15-love. 15-love. Serve again from Sabalenka. Into the backhand of Zheng. Return goes back into Sabalenka. Sliced. Into the backhand of Zheng. Zheng puts it away. Down the line. Great shot. 15-all. 15-all. Beautiful shot down the line. Sabalenka gets pissed off at that. She's not happy. 15-all. Sabalenka serves again. And that goes out in the return. (30-15). Serve again. Into the forehand of Zheng. Sabalenka backhand into the forehand of Zheng. To the backhand of Sabalenka. Zheng drop shot. Oh, nice from Zheng. Very casual but very effective drop shot. And it's 30-all. All right, serve again. Sabalenka serves the backhand of Zheng. Return goes to the front of Sabalenka. Zheng into the backhand of Sabalenka. Again, the backhand of Zheng. Sabalenka with a forehand slice. Zheng backhand again to the backhand of Sabalenka. Into the backhand of Zheng, who hits it wide, and it's 40-30. (40-30). Zheng's hit 50 unforced errors in this match. There's a bit of fault second serve. As a return, goes the back into Sabalenka. Zheng with a forehand slice. Into the forehand of Sabalenka. Oh, Sabalenka changed her mind and hit it in the net. And it's deuce. All right. Serve again. Chance for Zheng to get back on serve. As a return goes in the net from Zheng. Too strong. Sabalenka to take the 5-3 lead. As a default second serve. As a return. Goes into the forehand of Sabalenka. Backhand from Zheng, and then Sabalenka smacks it down the line. And Sabalenka goes to 5-3. Sabalenka. In the second. Zheng is going to serve to stay in the match. Nearly 2 hours played, by the way. Not a quick match by any stretch. And we've got Swiatek Svitolina coming on straight after this. As the return goes in the front of Zheng. Sabalenka with a slice. And Zheng puts away the smash. 15 love. Ah, 15 love. As Sabalenka hits it out, 30 love. All right, 30 love. Zheng serves again. As that goes out in the return from Sabalenka, 40 love. Sabalenka gets a massive return winner, 40-15. All right, Sabalenka, another massive winner, 40-30. As the return goes to forehand of Sabalenka. Zheng with the forehand into the backhand of Sabalenka. And then Zheng backhand goes in the net, goes into the umpire's chair. Deuce. We get to deuce. Okay. 2 points away, Sabalenka from the win. We get to deuce. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already. Swiatek versus Svitolina coming up next. Also, we're almost at 500 likes as well, so thank you for that. Don't forget to like the videos. Sabalenka gets aced, but no. She's saying it's wide. Sabalenka is saying it's wide. The umpire is saying it's wide. Zheng is serving second serve. Second serve for Zheng, and that was definitely wide. That was out by not even close. Second serve. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Zheng backhand into the forehand of Sabalenka with a drop shot, but Zheng's going to get it. Sabalenka volley. Zheng volley in the net. Match point Sabalenka. To get to the semifinals for the second time in 3 years, Last year, she lost in the quarters. The year before that, she made the semis, had a match point against Mukova, couldn't get the win. It was a famous match in 2023. Maybe the match of the year in 2023 is up there. One of them. Match point Sabalenka. Zheng trying to serve. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Goes the front of Sabalenka, return the front of Zheng. Sabalenka backhand slice. Zheng on the attack. Drop shot. Goes wide. Sabalenka's in the semis. The world number one. Is that 3 semifinals in a row now? At Grand Slam level. And she will take on the winner of the next match between Swiatek and Svitolina. GG's. Man, Zheng needed that first set. She was in that first set too, Zheng. She had the break. She had the chances. But Sabalenka fought back, took the tie break, and then took the match. Anticlimactic ending. Yeah, look, Zheng was a little casual with that drop shot. It worked the first time, but it didn't work that time. Also, she was up 40-love in that game, and that was a bad, a poor game to finish the match. Sabalenka 7-1 against Zheng. I mean, that is a demanding, commanding lead, head-to-head. But let's see if Sabalenka can go on and, I mean, win the French. Like, so if Sabalenka wins the French, she is only a Wimbledon away from a career Grand Slam. I mean, huh? Well, that's crazy. That's a crazy achievement. That is a crazy achievement. And I don't know if, like, 3 years ago, anybody thought that was going to happen. 3 years ago, we were thinking, can Sabalenka just win a slam? She was double faulting all the time. And now, she's 2 wins away here and then a Wimbledon from a career slam. Which is incredible. You know, joining a lot of players. You know, Serena and every player you can think of. Anyways, I'm going to send you over to the next one because we've got to find out who is going to play Sabalenka in the semis. It's going to be either Swiatek or Svitolina. 2 very tricky opponents either way. One of them is, of course, the 3-time defending champion. The other one, a very tough customer. Never made a final of a slam, though, Svitolina. Maybe one of the better players actively who hasn't made a slam final. But has obviously done a lot on the WTA 1000s and WTA finals scene. But jump over here, talk amongst yourselves. We'll be back in about 5 minutes to get our second quarterfinal, ladies quarterfinal underway. But good win. Sabalenka, 7-6, 6-3. She takes out Zheng, gets the revenge over that Rome loss from a couple of weeks ago. She's into the semis. Roland Garros. Can she win it? We'll find out who she's going to play next, and then we can make a decision.